Good afternoon, class. My name is Veronica, and I'd like you to take a journey with me. It'll be the same journey that my sons and I took last night. We visited this miraculous, wonderful place last night called Radiator Springs, and we had an opportunity to meet some of the residents. We met Lightning McQueen, the race car driver, Doc Hudson, the judge, Mater, the tow truck, and even Sally, the lawyer. You ask, how did we go to Radiator Springs? Well, we went by reading a book. Reading is such an important part of your child's development. And I am thrilled to be able to talk about an organization. Their sole mission is that. You ask what that charity is? It's RIF. Reading is fundamental. RIF's mission is to make sure that children, families, communities all have access to books. Being able to read a book seems pretty basic. Now they do that by three main programs. Their three programs are Books for Ownership, Care to Read, and Family of Readers. Now, with those programs, RIF is helping to resolve a lot of issues. One of those issues that I find to be extremely important that impacts my children on a day-to-day basis is that summer reading slide. That summer reading slide is something that teachers, administrators, they all say, hey, over the summertime, don't let your kids' brains go into a vegetative state. So what I've done this year is to make sure that my children are reading 15 to 30 minutes a day. And that doesn't include our bedtime stories. So they aren't liking me too much right now, but they'll thank me in the long run. So why is reading so important? If you think about it, we read every single day. Can you think about a time where you didn't read? It's pretty hard to think, because I'm sitting here thinking, and I really can't recall a day that I did not do any reading. Reading is such an integral piece of our day-to-day lives that it is important that kids start at a very early age to be able to read, because it does nothing but get harder as we get older. Just think about being in college, of how much we are actually reading on a day-to-day basis. Now, thinking about reading and RIF, it must take a lot of money to be able to put on those programs to reach the various communities that they're serving. And I was surprised while doing the research for this particular charity that their 2013 funding from the federal government was cut. It never made the budget. Dag. So I'm looking at that. This worthwhile charity didn't receive any money from the federal government. So now they're just relying on donors, sponsors, volunteers, anybody in the communities that they serve to try to help them make sure that their three core programs are taking place on a day-to-day basis. So with that being said, I said to myself, what can you do to help? And hopefully you're asking yourself the same question. What can you do to help? Well, there are a number of things that you can do. And here's a list of a few. So what I've done, I have given to RIF in a number of ways. One, I give online at www.rif That's one way. Two, I do a 2-for-1. I call them a twofer. I give to a PAC for ASAE, whom I love to volunteer for. And what they do is they match my donation to another charity dollar for dollar. And my other charity is RIF. So, two organizations that I am passionate about are able to receive funds from me, which is great. Once again, it just depends on your level of comfort and what you want to do and how you want to give back. It could simply be you having a conversation and planting a seed in someone whom you're speaking with about RIF. You have no idea what impact just a conversation that you're having with them could have on how they either volunteer, they donate, or they talk to someone else about RIF. There are different things that we can do to help. You just have to be creative. One thing that I found very interesting in reference to RIF were their third-party ratings. Their third-party ratings are awesome. They're great. They got an A+ rating from the AIP, which is American Institute of Philanthropy. They received 3 out of 4 stars from Charity Navigator, and they're ranked one of the 100 best charities. You can't really beat that. That is awesome. And then thinking about giving your dollars where a lot of organizations don't do right by your dollar, these ratings are saying, hey, we understand that you giving is above and beyond, and we want to make sure that we are doing right by you and we are using your dollars the most efficient way possible. And that's what these ratings are doing. Now, what I found astounding in reference to RIF and just doing some of the research were some of the statistics that I found. This one in particular. And I have to turn my back because I want to make sure I get this right. 4th graders are reading 53% below basic reading proficiency. 53% of our 4th graders are reading below basic reading proficiency. Now think about it. Every single day we are reading. Every day. So if our 4th graders are having problems now at a 4th grade level, how do you think things are going to translate for them when they get older? It's going to be more difficult. So we have to do whatever we can to help them now, to bridge that gap, to make it easier for them to catch up. Now what RIF does, RIF provides 4.5 million children nationwide with access to books. And they serve over 54,000 under these undeserved kids. So RIF. You can give to RIF, you can volunteer for RIF, you can host a program for RIF. Whatever you can do to help RIF would be beneficial. And I hope that you're able to plant a seed in someone by talking about RIF. Thank you.